boys and girls. It's time for science story time. And today we're going to read a book about the redwood trees. They are out on the other side of the country in California. And this book is called Tall, Tall Tree because the redwood trees are the tallest trees on the planet. And this book is by Anthony D. Fredericks, and Chad Wallace did the beautiful illustrations. One, a single soaring eagle against the sky of blue, searching for his dinner, and then comes two. Two brown and spotted owls nesting in the canopy, bringing dinner to their babies, and now comes number three. Reclining salamanders above the forest floor, hunting for their dinner, and now comes number four. Four busy woodpeckers, in order to survive, are storing all their acorns, and now comes number five. Five furry wood rats darting in the sticks, dining on some juicy plants, and now comes number six. Six scattered chipmunks in this treetop heaven, dash, start, and scamper, and now comes number seven. Seven busy bumblebees zig and zag and wait. They flash in black and yellow, and now comes number eight. Eight sleeping bats roosting in a line, waiting for the sun to set, and now comes number nine. Nine banana slugs, yellow slimy then. They slide around the tree, and now comes number 10 spotted ladybugs on teeny tiny feet crawl along the needles, but our story's not complete. Many other animals sleep and eat and roam up this tall, tall tree, their elevated home. The tree lives in the forest near a foggy shore. It's a wild and magic world. Come discover and explore. The end. Now that was about the redwood forest all the way on the other side of the continent. But we can explore our nature right here in New Jersey. And one way to do this is to make a nature exploration jar. Now my jar has pine needles in it. I have an artificial tree, but a friend of mine who has a live tree, they cut some needles off and gave them to me to make this jar. Of course, you can just look at the trees without the jar, but trees are kind of prickly and rough. So if you have it in the jar, you can look at it without having to get stuck by the needles. And the jar will also keep it fresh longer because the jar is filled with water, so you can keep it and explore longer. See how I'm turning my jar around to look at all the different things in it? And the jar has water in it, so it makes it look bigger so it's easier to see. And you can also use a magnifying glass to look at it. So I'm going to show you how to make one of these jars. You need a clear plastic jar. I had cinnamon sticks in this one from a hot chocolate party that I did. You need some nature. I have the pine tree. You need some water. You need some tape and some strong glue. Now you're going to start by taking the lid off your jar. You definitely need a jar or a bottle with a lid. And you're going to put your nature in it. Now you see I put my pine, that's a little too tall. So I'm going to cut it with my scissors. You're going to have a grown-up do this because your safety scissors aren't going to be enough. And now it's short enough to put in. And then, oh, that smells so good. And then I wanted something else too. I wanted some holly berries, but I couldn't find any real holly berries. So I decided that I was going to use some red beads and put them in 1, 2, 3. Some of them I push down because they get stuck on the needles, but I did leave some up there too. And then you're going to take some water. And did you notice how I used some live things and some fake things? As long as you have something live in there, if you want to add some fake things too, you can. I don't have quite enough. I filled this one up to the top, but I didn't set up quite enough water aside to do that, but that's okay. Then you're going to need really strong glue. A glue stick isn't going to be enough, so your grown-up's going to glue it for you. I'm just going to pretend. They can use a glue stick like this to glue the lid on, or they can use some kind of strong glue, epoxy glue, to keep the lid on tight. And then you can take some tape, and they can put tape along it too. That'll make it look pretty, and it'll add another layer of keeping the lid on. This is washi tape, but you can use duct tape as well. Definitely you want duct tape though if you're not also going to use really strong glue. Okay, and now I have my jar. I can turn it around and I can see that my holly berries won't all come up or down because they get stuck sometimes by needles. I can see how I can see how there's a little tiny ring at the end of my branches. And now I have this to keep because it won't get all brown and the needles won't fall off as quickly because it's in a jar of water. And when it does eventually get yucky, I can dump everything out, rinse out the jar, and do a new one for whatever is outside at that point. So I hope that your grown-up is able to help you make a nature jar and look outside in your yard or the park and find some nice things to put in it. Or if you still have your Christmas tree, because I'm filming this right after New Year's, you can, and it's a live tree or you have a friend with a live tree, you could take those like I did. Just remember, don't cut anything off a tree that's still growing because it needs those needles. And have fun with science, but before you go off to make your nature jar, make sure your grown-up hits like and subscribe. Thank you, bye.